Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome to early morning, mid-winter Lufthansa flight from Hamburg over to Munich. Today we are flying the Fenix A321 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and we do have some wonderful weather conditions over here. But let's get inside where it is a little bit more quiet so that we can start setting up our flight plan. And first of all, have a look at our operational flight plan as computed by SimBrief. Now we are going to fly that one on VATSIM. And, well, we do have ATC online for the flight at the moment. Alright, let's start by having a look into our flight plan. And we got it right over here from Hamburg to Munich as Lufthansa 4 Echo in the A321 with the IAE engines. Flight level 330 is our planned cruising level. And we have a planned takeoff weight of 73 tons. Now let's start by having a look into the route, and you can see it is a fairly straightforward route all the way into Munich, ending up in a downwind for probably runway 08 left. The significant weather chart is mostly clear. There is a jet stream, however, along Munich, but we should be far below that by the time we arrive. Now looking into the weather conditions, we have good weather here in Hamburg, but they do have some reduced visibility here. Tempo, 1200 meters visibility, patches of fog, very high QNH, typical winter scenario at a temperature of minus 40 degrees. Our arrival airport Munich, also minus 40 degrees, very high QNH once again, but cavalcade conditions, and they're gonna stay like that. The same for our alternate Salzburg, which is very good as well at minus 3 degrees, but good weather conditions all over. So, with that in mind, we can make a decision on the amount of fuel we want to carry, and I really don't see much reason for any extra fuel today. So 5.7 is the minimum, and 5.7 is what we're going to take. Well, make that 5.8 so that we can cover our APU usage on the ground here. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and import that one in our electronic flight bag as well. And then we can go into the mass and balance, planned fuel, 5,800 kilograms. And we are going to apply and load that using GSX for boarding and refueling, please. 190 passengers on board today, and almost 3 tons in the hold. Alright, so that much for our basics. Now let's go ahead and start with our preliminary cockpit preparation. The engine masters are off, mode selector norm. The weather radar should have the ground clutter suppression auto and the gain and calibrated by default. For some reason it doesn't in the simulator, but so be it. So gear is down, wipers are off, batteries are on, and we have the APU running. For some reason they didn't provide us with external power today, but that is fine, we can do without. So, IRS quick realign. Here we go. And that just realigns it again on the same position where we previously were. Then we'll just put something into the radios for the time being, because, well, we are online on VATSIM, but we don't want to hear them talking all the time, do we? We don't need to do the APU fire test, the external power is set, the IRS has been realigned, the cockpit lights are set, then let's go into the EFB and start our setup down here. So, first things first, for our takeoff we have Hamburg runway 33. They say it's a dry runway, and we are going to have the engine anti-ice on, the packs off, then we can synchronize our preliminary weights over here and the weather. In terms of intersection data, yes, there are intersections that we want to take, so let's go ahead and have a quick look into the charts. And since Lufthansa uses Lido charts in the real world, I will use Lido charts for today's departure as well. Apart from the fact that I simply find them much easier to use for things like determining your takeoff run available. So as you can see, you've got all these indications down here. So if we take runway 33, Bravo 5, we got 3,254 meters available. And that's exactly what we have in here. So let's take that data. Alright, flaps 2 takeoff with a slight up trim, 49 degrees flex. That sounds very good to me. We will have to de-ice the aircraft before takeoff. That means we couldn't use any fixed D-rate, but since the A320 family doesn't have those, only has flex temperature, it's not going to be a problem. Alright, and our performance limited weight is 97 tons of takeoff weight. Now let's do a quick recall to check for any previous failures we might have had. In terms of the logbook of the aircraft and MEL items, we don't have any today. The aircraft configuration is an A321 with IAE engines, no automatic nav on go around, analog standby instruments, and no FLS. We don't have any OEBs today, and with that the aircraft is accepted for flight. Then last but not least, the oxygen quantity is good, hydraulic quantities are good, engine oil quantities are good. The flaps are in agreement with the lever, spoiler is retracted, then let's test the alternate brake system here. And that is looking very good. Alright, so that's our preliminary cockpit preparation completed. Then let's go ahead and start working on our aircraft setup. We'll start with the ATSU down here, AOC menu, flight initialization, and we're going to request our flight data from SimBrief. And here it is, Lufthansa for Echo, Hamburg, Munich, alternate Salzburg, 1 hour and 2 minutes. So next up we're going to do the ATIS request for Hamburg. And we do want the departure ATIS here, send that one out. Now let's see what we have. Couple of load sheets, we can always ignore that first one, that's a little, I don't know, I would call it a bug. Phoenix would probably call it different. So, preliminary load sheet, Lufthansa for Echo on the 13th of January, Hamburg to Munich in the Alpha India Romeo Kilo, which is the correct aircraft. 2 pilots, 5 cabin crews, and our limit today is going to be the landing weight. Maximum of 8 tons that we can load additional, 190 guests on board. And everything looking good over here. Alright, we can accept that load sheet. Now let's have a look into the VATSIM ATIS. We're departing Hamburg, information Echo, it's 0850, in other words, they could bring us a new ATIS soon. When passing 2000, contact radar, check charts for departure frequency. No, really? Okay, expect our let's approach 23, landing 23, takeoff 33, transition level 60, wind 150 at 8, 10 kilometers, well, the weather is as expected. QNH 1042. Now that's a pretty high QNH. I think the highest I've seen was 1045 though. Well, certainly this is among the very high ones. Alright, so that's our ATIS on board. Well then, let's go ahead and start our pre-flight procedures here. So flight recorder ground control comes online. Evacuation should be on the captain's side. That's all set. So we are almost done with the refueling, so let's just give it a small moment here for our seatbelt signs and the fuel pumps. We don't need to do the fire test since we're in a turnaround over here. And then 1042 is set, that one's aligned, and that's set as well. Refueling is now complete, so the seatbelt sign comes on and the fuel pumps are also coming on. Very good. So down here, everything is pretty much set already. Well, and then we can go right into the FMS setup. For that, let's bring up the SimBrief integration here and give me my SimBrief flight plan, please. And then data, aircraft status, A321, IAE engines, and the nav database is current at the time of this recording. Scratchpad messages are checked. Then let's do the flight plan request and go right down into the actual OFP. So here we are, Hamburg to Munich, alternate Salzburg, and we are going to be the Lufthansa for Echo. Cost index 20, cruise flight level 330, and do we have a temperature up there? Minus 54. Okay, departure, Hamburg, runway 33, and we have the AMLU 1 Golf departure, like that. Now let's go ahead and check those waypoints. Okay, straight ahead to 500 feet, thereafter Delta Hotel 250 above 670 and a maximum of 210 knots, right hand turn Delta Hotel 251, which is an overfly waypoint, as you can see by that little circle down there. And again, maximum 210 knots, then a right hand turn, Delta Hotel 252, maximum 210 knots, 262 above 4,000 feet. And then via Hamburg VOR down to AMLU. The initial climb on this one is going to be 5,000. And departure frequency check charts. Wonderful. Now, they have two over here, so which one is the correct one now? For that we need the SID PT chart, which is unfortunately not available in MSFS. In any case, it's going to be 119510. We can already pre-select that one. So 119.51. Here we go. Okay, the arrival into Munich is going to be with an ILS approach onto runway 8 left, and we have a Landu arrival, so it's going to be the Landu 08 transition. Here we are, and insert. Now, the emergency routing is going to be fairly easy. That's going to be on the runway track, so we can take Hamburg, and let's see what the runway track is. Runway 33, track 330/25 miles, so 25 miles straight ahead. Pick up a holding over there, and in case we need to do an immediate return... Hello, pick up a holding over there. The real one is easier. You just hit that, hit insert, and that's it. Okay, and if we need to make an immediate return, we are going to do that coming back to Hamburg via the ILS approach runway 23. Okay, easy going. Then let's go on to the fix info, and on here we take runway 33 with the extended centerline on the 330 track, and then we have the PBD-01, which should probably have been called Hamburg X4, but... well. Okay, now for our performance initialization, our planned zero fuel weight is 67.3. And in the absence of any known CG, we'll just enter 25, and the block fuel 5.8. For our fuel figures, we have a contingency of 0.3. Then an alternate fuel at 1.1, and the final reserve fuel is going to be 1.2. Here we go. Taxi fuel 0.2 should be correct, and for the wind component, let's select 20 knots of tailwind. Okay, so, and we'll actually request the real wind data as well. Oh, the camera is sometimes a little bit laggy here. So, flaps 2 takeoff at 49 degrees of temperature. 249. Yeah, wind data uplink, thank you. And the speeds are going to be 151, 155, and 155 with a 400 meter takeoff shift. So 151, 155, and 155. So noise abatement procedure number 2 is correct. Engine out acceleration will be 1500 above the ground. And last but not least, the takeoff shift 400 meters. And that's it. We don't need to pre-select any climb speed. Looking over here, the clean speed is going to be 220, and, well, the slat retraction 203, our speed restriction is 210. That means we can retract the flaps to position 1 after takeoff, but we can't retract them completely until we've passed all those speed constraints that we have along our departure route. Well, and that's our initial setup completed. So we will have to do de-icing, but I suggest for the time being, let's go ahead and request our IFR clearance, and then when everything is done we can continue with the briefing and the checklist and so on. Okay, so gate number 4 Alpha, ATIS information Echo, station Hamburg, and do we have any optional text? Yeah, we do. Moin. Alright, Hamburg to Munich, Lufthansa for Echo, gate 4 Alpha, and ATIS Echo, Moin, A321, station Hamburg, sent. Alright. So, load sheet. And that's final. Perfect. Alright then, let's give it a go. 67.3, that's as expected if I'm not mistaken. Yes it is. And 28.3 for the zero fuel weight. 5.8 is correct, and the takeoff CG 27.6, so that's something over here, so yeah. Up trim 0.2, something along those lines. Alright, wonderful. So we can accept this, and then pre-departure clearance received, standby. Alright. Very good. So that's pretty much everything done. Then let's do our departure briefing, please. And that means it's your turn. Okay, Hamburg, runway 33, intersection Bravo 5, AMLU 1 Golf departure, climbing 5,000 feet, and the MSA today is 3,000 feet. That already includes any temperature correction necessary. If you want to be precise, the MSA is 2,100, you can add 200 feet for the temperature correction, so 2,300 is going to keep us safe for our departure. Well, extra fuel, we don't have all too much. 4 minutes, 200 kilos, but that already includes the entire transition. No hotspots for the taxi routing. Stop margin for rejected takeoff is going to be, well, plenty. Engine outset on the runway track, 25 miles, climbing 3,000. Pick up a holding over there, and in case we need to do an immediate return, I have already programmed an ILS approach to runway 23 in our FMS. Now, looking at the takeoff data, we are below the maximum landing weight, so an immediate re-landing is no problem at all. Yeah, Hamburg is the best option in the area. The others all have a little bit of fog as well, so no real changes here. Special operations, we can only retract the flaps into position 1 until we are past waypoint Delta Hotel 252, and when passing 2,000 feet we contact departure on our own 119.510. I don't have any non-standards over here. We need to de-ice the aircraft on the stand so that we get rid of any of the ice that we've collected on the previous arrival. But we're going to do that right out of the AFCOM procedure. Threats for the departure? None? Okay, perfect. So that's our briefing complete. Cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 5,780 kilogram balanced, seatbelts on, ADRs, nav, baro ref, QNH 1042. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Okay, so let's bring up the GSX window here and prepare position for pushback and departure. And yes, we do need de-icing today. Okay, and then let's go into the AFCOM. And start to prepare the aircraft for our de-icing procedure. Okay, airframe de-icing, anti-icing procedure on the ground. Before fluid spraying, establish communication with the ground crew. De-icing and anti-icing fluid types check appropriate. So we basically just need a one-step type 1 today, so that the aircraft gets cleared of any ice. I don't see us icing up again. I think this is going to be completely fine here. Alright, don't start the engines during fluid spraying. Engines and APU can be either stopped or running during the anti-icing or de-icing procedure. Then, cabin pressurization mode selector, check auto. Okay, yeah, you stand by for a moment, please. It will be type 1 at 50%. So, mode selector, auto. Engine 1 bleed off, and that's air conditioning, engine 1 bleed off, engine 2 bleed off, air conditioning, engine 2 bleed off. APU bleed off, off, ditching push button, push, confirm, ditching push button confirmed, and on. Okay, we might get a vent avionics system fault alert on our ECAM, but that doesn't look to be the case. Okay, thrust lever is idle, and aircraft prepared for spraying. Well then, while the de-icing is in progress, I'm going to say hello to our passengers. Liebe Gäste, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der Lufthansa darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unseres Fluges nach München willkommen heißen. Die Flugzeit heute circa 1 Stunde in einer Reiseflughöhe von 10.000 Metern. Vor dem Abflug werden wir unser Flugzeug jetzt noch enteisen. Das wird einige Minuten in Anspruch nehmen. Und sobald das geschehen ist, werden wir uns dann auf den Weg machen. Wir bedanken uns ganz herzlich, dass Sie heute unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück und genießen Sie den Flug mit uns. Wir melden uns dann im Anflug auf München nochmal mit den neuesten Wetterinformationen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Lufthansa, I would like to welcome you aboard our flight to Munich. Today's flight time will be approximately 1 hour at a cruising altitude of 33,000 feet or 10,000 meters. Before departure, we are going to de-ice the aircraft, and when that is completed, we will make our way towards Munich for where we do expect an on-time arrival. We would like to thank you very much for being our guests today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us. And we will get back to you with the latest weather information when we start our approach to Munich. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Okay, so our passengers are dealt with, then let's go ahead. We never got any reply to the PDC request, so let's request our clearance by voice then. Bremen Radar, guten Morgen, Lufthansa for Echo Information, Echo Request Clearance to Munich.
Lufthansa for Echo, Bremen Radar, morning. Information, Foxtrot current, startup approved, clear to Munich, AMLO 1 Golf departure, flight to
Lufthansa for Echo will check information, Foxtrot, clear to München via the AMLO 1 Golf departure flight plan route, climb via SID 5000, squawk 1000.
For Echo, respect correct.
Okay, AMLO 1 Golf is confirmed, flight plan route, climb 5000 and the squawk 1000. Here we go. Perfect. So, what about the de-icing? Seems quite complete. Yeah, in progress it seems. Okay, so, upon completion of the spraying operation, pitot and statics checked by ground crew, ground equipment removed, de-icing and anti-icing report is received, and we've used a fluid type 1, the ratio of fluid to water is 50%, holdover time is beginning at 0945. Well, that's quite fine for me. Then let's go ahead and have a look into the de-icing and anti-icing table to determine the holdover time real quick. And they've used fluid type 1. Okay, and the temperature is -4 degrees. We do have, well, in the worst case, some freezing fog over here, but I don't really see that, to be honest. If that is the case, since we've good weather conditions today, we have 13 minutes of holdover time. But that is, of course, assuming that the fog banks do come back, which I don't really see right now. So right now it's unlimited anyway, since we've only cleared the aircraft of any icing conditions that, or of any icing that we may previously have had. Right, so let's continue with the procedure. Ditching push button off. So, cabin pressure. Confirm?
Yeah, sorry,
yeah, ditching confirm and off. Right, alpha valve check open.
57 info Foxtrot request clearance to uniform whiskey Golf Golf.
And the alpha valve is open. Okay, at least 1 minute after completion of spraying operation, well, that is now already, engine 1 bleed on. So air conditioning, engine 1 bleed on. Engine 2 bleed on. Air conditioning, engine 2 bleed on. At least 5 minutes after completion of spraying operation, APU bleed as required. Okay, so that's the only one we're waiting for at the moment. Yeah, 3 minutes ago they started the, or they finished the process, so 2 more minutes until we go back to using APU bleed. Well, and with that, normal procedures resume. Okay, then let's go ahead and get our pushback clearance. Lufthansa for Echo, request pushback.
Lufthansa for Echo, pushback approved, face south, Zulu 1, blue line.
Pushback approved, face south, Zulu 1 blue, Lufthansa for Echo. Okay, Zulu 1 blue line. And close you. And before start checklist, please. Park and brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 151, VR 155, V2 155, Flex 49. Windows. Closed, beacon on, before start checklist complete.
Approach speed with down to 6 heavy.
So, Zulu 1 blue line, and de-icing is completed already. Why is GSX asking it again?
Sorry for that. Pushback approved, face south, Zulu.
So, facing south, Zulu 1 blue. Okay. Ground from flight deck?
Hello, Hamburg.
Go ahead.
Approach,
So, pushback is approved. Zulu 1 blue line facing south, parking brake released. Roger, starting the push, stand by for engine start. Stand by.
Emirates 35 Foxtrot, bring radar point. Information Foxtrot correct. Start approved.
I think by the time that we are clear of the gate area, we can easily turn on the APU bleed again as well, and then we do have the required 5 minutes.
Honolulu Bravo departure, runway 3.
Alright.
Initial climb 5,000 and
So, they are done down here, everything is done up here.
Just to confirm, AMLU 1 Golf departure.
So we started our we finished our de-icing at 7, so that means in 20 seconds we can turn on the APU bleed. Looks like perfect timing to me. Alright, so, yeah, time 52, APU bleed on, and then time for engine startup. So ground flight, start sequence will be 1 then 2, starting engine 1.
7 identified passing 2000.
Clear 1. Engine 1 start.
230, passing 5000 feet, proceed directly Woomiel. 2927, climb flight to the 230, passing 5000 direct to Woomiel.
And what's that? ATC request status, Lufthansa for Echo. Acknowledged, not received clearance. Okay, revert to voice procedures. Yeah, that is fine. We did that anyway already. Okay, push complete, set parking brakes. Parking brake set. And we have a good start on engine number 1, starting engine number 2. Clear 2. Okay, and avail. Engine 2 start.
Hamburg to deferred, request pushback.
Minus 4 degrees and she's running around with t-shirts only. Feels like I'm in the UK. They do that.
Pushback approved, face northeast on Zulu 4.
Push approved, face northeast, Zulu 4, and up to the fuel.
Alright, here's the ramp agent. She's holding a pin in her hands and clear signal is received. However, the engine is still starting.
Lufthansa 5 Echo 01 Alpha requesting.
Okay, that's 2 good starts. Clear to disconnect, clear signal left. Bye bye. Alright, and there she goes.
Delta Echo lieber nochmal aus Lübeck, wir mieten verspätetes Rollen, wir haben noch einige Probleme mit der Bremse. Delta Alpha Lima, das ist verstanden.
Yeah, no icing conditions here, so we can extend those
We are
flaps.
ready for push and start, Emirates 35 Foxtrot.
Okay,
35 Foxtrot, exact delay of about, let's say 3 or 4 minutes due to traffic delay.
after start checklist, anti-ice. Engine anti-ice on, ecam status checked, pitch trim 0.2 up, rudder trim, neutral, after start checklist complete, and we have here, what's that, 28% roughly. Okay, flight control check,
Alpha Papa Kilo, Roger,
full up,
then take the left
full
of
down,
Zulu 5,
neutral,
and holding
full
point
left,
Bravo.
full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, and neutral.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, do you have an exact time to be ready for taxi?
7 seconds, Lufthansa 4 Echo. Alright. Lufthansa 4 Echo, request taxi.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, perfect. Taxi to Honeycomb, runway 33 via Zulu 1 Blue Line, Bravo 5.
Zulu 1 Blue Line and Bravo 5, holding point runway 33, Lufthansa 4 Echo.
Thai 927, contact frame radar 1 2, assessment 325, bye-bye.
Clear right side, clear left side.
Bye-bye.
Brake check. Pressure 0. And no changes to the takeoff briefing.
Premium radar, Moin, Lufthansa 011 with Foxtrot.
Okay, just awaiting the cabin, so let's do the taxi checklist down to ECAM memo already. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, conv 2, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine start selector, norm, ECAM memo,
Alpha Papa Kilo,
takeoff 1 blue,
160 degrees, 1 knot,
holding
runway
there.
33, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 33, please return to 6 heavy.
Delta Echo Lima, bis zu 2,5 wir melden Abflugbereitschaft.
Delta Alpha Lima, das verstanden. Verlassen Sie die Kontrollzone direkt über Sierra, Wind 160 Grad, 4 Knoten, bis startfrei.
Delta Alpha Lima, startfrei bis zu 2,5, wir verlassen die Zone über Sierra.
Okay, one departure ahead of us, and well, then we are still waiting for the cabin to get ready, so...
Sorry, war nur Reflex und Sicherheit, das ich gleich nicht vergessen, wenn es da aussieht.
Alles klar.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, behind the departing Boeing 777, line up runway 33 behind.
Lufthansa 4 Echo behind, departing Boeing 777, line up 33 behind, and we are still waiting for the cabin to get ready, but should be there in a minute.
Jupp.
Okay.
Brauchst du wieder eine Wegturbulence?
Ja, das dachte ich mir. Okay, lineup checklist. Well, actually not yet. We still gotta wait for the cabin.
3.
Checked. Intentional. And Bravo 5 is confirmed.
Und die Lufthansa 5 Echo is also ready for taxi.
On runway 3.
Checked. Okay.
Lufthansa 5 Echo, taxi to
So, let's just
runway 33 via Zulu
check how long it's gonna take for them.
Blue Line and Bravo.
But they should be ready any
Blue
moment
1 Blue
anyway.
and Bravo 5. Lufthansa 5 Echo.
So, here we go. Alright. ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, taxi checklist complete. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Lineup checklist, takeoff runway, 33 Bravo 5, TCAS, TARA, PAX 1 and 2, off, lineup checklist complete. Lufthansa 4 Echo ready.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, perfect. Wind 160 degrees, 4 knots, runway 33, clear for takeoff.
Runway 33, clear for takeoff, Lufthansa 4 Echo.
Alpha Papa Kilo 726.
Okay, ready?
Starting 6,600 feet, climb flight level 240. Starting 5,000 feet, proceed direct D.
Takeoff.
Climb flight level 250 and passing 5,000 direct to Dennings, confirm.
Alpha Papa Kilo, it's flight level 2.
Manflex 49, SRS, auto thrust blue.
Flight level
Thrust set.
240, please return to 6 heavy.
Emirates 35 Foxtrot, there is one passing traffic, thereafter you will get your...
110 knots.
Roger.
That went a little fast there.
Die Delta Alpha Lima jetzt über Sierra in 2000.
B1.
Delta Alpha
Rotate.
verstanden, verlassen der Frequenz genehmigt.
Positive climb.
genehmigt.
Gear up.
Delta Alpha Lima, dankeschön, Tag.
Nav. Checked. So, lots of thrust available here.
Hamburg 26 Juliet, taxi to report runway 33 via Zulu 4 and Zulu 1. Bravo.
Thrust climb, auto thrust.
Taxi to Hollywood runway 33, Zulu 4, Zulu 1, Bravo 4, enter 26 Juliet.
Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
For Echo. You identified passing 2100 feet. Climb to flight level 240. Proceed direct Phoenix passing 5000.
Lufthansa for Echo, climb flight level 240 out of 5000 direct Denix. 24000 blue.
Austin 953, Roger. Stand by.
So, flaps stay extended for the time being. 210 knots.
Echo
It
with 160.
automatically retracts the flaps, but keeps the slats extended. Which is the reason why the never exceed speed goes up over here.
011 still have you under information. Foxtrot current. Start approved. Clear to Frankfurt. ID code 612 departure. Flight band route. Climb by a 5,000 feet. Squawk on house.
Alright, information Foxtrot, which you've got is the Deco 6 Golf.
Engine NTS off.
Coming to 5,000, Squawk 1,000. If possible, I'd like to amend our flight plan flight level 340.
And engine NTS is off. Is that standard?
Lufthansa 011, please request that at the center for higher flight.
Roger, and in fact someone spawned on top of us as well if you're able to send them a message.
Alright, standard cross check passing flight level 48. Now.
Lufthansa 011, you're
Checked.
Emirates 35 Foxtrot, pushback approved, 5,000 Zulu.
Nice, pushback approved, Emirates 35.
Emirates 26 Juliet, line up runway 33.
Line up runway 33, enter 26 Juliet.
Okay, passing Delta Hotel 252. And flap 0. Speed checked. Flap 0.
Contact radar on 126, level 325.
126, decimal 325, bye.
And that guy had a call there.
Echo stand for you, contact radar 126,
126, decimal 325, Lufthansa for Echo, tschüss. Autopilot 1.
Identified passing 1,600 feet, climb to flight level 240, passing 5,000 feet, proceed direct D.
So 126, 325, and then we can go direct to Denix as well. So Denix, and insert. Climb radar, guten Morgen Lufthansa for Echo, flight level 77, climbing 240, inbound Denix.
Lufthansa for Echo payment, good morning. Identified further direct Zucker.
Red Zucker, Lufthansa for Echo. Okay, to Zucker. 124 miles in a straight line. I like that. However, I don't like that sun in our face right here.
Bremen radar to morning, PZ 72, heavy landing to 12, flight level 120 for flight level 240.
Okay, so one long straight line for the time being. I like that.
Good morning, this is Lufthansa 5271, passing flight level 194, climbing 3.
And then we are passing flight level 100. We'll wait a small moment here with our seatbelts until we are sure that the pitch stays below 7.
Proceed direct.
So, clear and copy, please.
Lindy.
Back to Lindy, Lufthansa 5271.
TWA 41, you are leaving my airspace. Where's the Honeycomb? 122, that's the light, good day.
Okay, cruise flight level 330, optimum 360, maximum 381. And I think 33 is gonna be just fine for us.
Bird 726, proceed direct above key.
Alright. Well then, I tend to say with that we are on the way. Our pitch is now fine as well, so we can release our passengers. And then I'm looking forward to see you all again on the approach to Munich. Descending inbound to Munich, and we can start to prepare for our arrival. First things first, we're 15,000 above the ground, so our fasten seatbelt sign is going to come on, and then let's have a quick look into the arrival and the expected conditions. So first things first, we are going to request another ADIS here to be sure that we are on the same page and have the latest information available. So Munich, arrival ADIS and send. And then ATIS, information hotel from 1020, so that is 23 minutes old. Radar has already advised us that we are landing runway 08 left today. The wind is 07087, slightly variable. Few clouds in 2100 feet, temperature -2, QNH 1040, which is pre-selected. Now ATC has already cleared us inbound to Delta Mike 421, and thereafter we are probably going to receive radar vectors, even though I did program the approach transition for the time being. Now, continuing from here on, I have applied cold temperature correction. So the MSA is 3,700, the field elevation 1,500 feet, that means the MSA is 2,300 above the ground, to which we can add about 230 feet, so roughly 300. So we're looking at a temperature corrected MSA of 4,000 feet, and well, that position on the chart here is not correct. Well, and our minimum 1670 normally, plus the 20 feet for the temperature correction, so 1690, and that is entered here. Well, and that much for our setup. Now let's turn the engine anti-ice on. And then we can go ahead with the approach briefing, please.
The input 3 echo department for you out of 089, land plan hold,
okay.
Flight level 70.
Radar vectors for an ILS approach 08 left, MSA corrected 4,000 feet, and it will be an ILS approach to runway 08 left with a minimum at 1690. The go-around trajectory is straight at 1 mile from DME Munich North, and then left turn inbound to Mike NDB, climbing 5,000 feet, extra fuel and time. We have 13 minutes extra. And that's it. And for the setup, we'll go on to the ADF on number 2 over here. And that's it. Perfect. Manually flown approach and config full. Auto brakes medium. We will use idle reverse, vacate the runway to the right. I don't have any hotspots for our taxi in over here, and nothing special on on-stand mount. Any threats? Nope. Beautiful. That's our briefing complete. And we have speed alt star. A little bit aggressive with the engines. Alt. So what I'm gonna do now I did enter a 5,000 restriction over Delta Mike 421 for that reason.
For Echo Fly heading 180, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1040.
Lufthansa 4 Echo heading 180, descent 5,000 feet, QNH 1040. Set QNH. QNH 1040 cross-check passing 11,300 now. Checked. And then we have thrust idle open descent heading. Alright, so far so good. Then let's go ahead and sequence the flight plan.
Correct. Lufthansa 1248, proceed.
Margot, radial in 259 and insert.
Okay, see direct Delta Mike 452.
No idea why it activated the approach phase, it certainly shouldn't. Speed 250. So it's predicting that we are like 4,500 high, which I severely doubt. We have 20 miles to lose 5,000 feet, so easy going. Nothing to worry about, we only need 15 for that. Well, so far so good. Passing 10,000. Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
261, descend to flight level 110.
Approach checklist, please.
Level 110 is 26.
Barrel reference, QNH 1040. Seatbelts on, minimum is barrel 1690. Auto brake, medium, engine start selector. Norm, approach checklist complete. Okay, looking at that level of arrow down there, we'll have around 5 miles in level flight to Margot, which will be sufficient to lose our airspeed, so I'm pretty happy with the descent path we currently have.
Continue to runway 08.
Gotta say, the weather looks tremendous again here.
From the 100 Papa Taxi Bravo 208.
Next 08, 100 Papa.
Yeah, for the 100 Papa, you're already vacating Bravo 10, so right, tango, Bravo 1208.
Alright, let's do a little bit of manual flight here.
Ja, haben wir auch gerade gesehen. Also, Tango ist auch vielleicht.
Correct. Lufthansa 5 Echo Fly heading 180.
So, gotta exercise a little bit of caution here. There is another aircraft with a very similar call sign and frequency. We are the Lufthansa 4 Echo, which is the real-world flight number of this flight, or rather, real-world call sign. And there is a Lufthansa 5 Echo on here as well.
Hotel traffic clearance to Frankfurt.
So, ILS Munich Northeast is identified. And just to confirm that, yeah, it's correct. Hello, Emmanuel here. Thanks. Still strange that they're doing that. We would just see it on the landing checklist, so there's really no reason to make any call there.
For the 1248, reduce speed 250 knots, then descend altitude 7,000 feet, QNH 1040.
I will descend to
approaching
250 knots
and manage speed.
And then we'll go ahead and see what's the other again for speed storm.
125, 7,000 feet, QNH 1040.
Alright, we'll go down to 7,000 feet and then
engine NTS off.
1050 for Lufthansa 1248.
And it's off. So it looks like it might be snowing over there.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, turn on left heading 160.
Runway 7, clear for, takeoff plan.
Lufthansa 4 Echo, left heading 160.
Back with traffic 01, wind 0737 knots, runway 08 left, clear for takeoff.
Turkish 01, clear for takeoff, runway 08 left.
Lufthansa 100 Papa, stand 248 Alpha via Echo 2.
248 Alpha via Echo 2, 100 Papa, vielen Dank.
Yeah, pull speed. Pull vertical speed.
Good.
And speed vertical speed. And let's do that thrust manually. You never request clearance for takeoff. Never use the word takeoff. Always just say ready for departure.
Lufthansa Falco left 090 cleared ILS for 08 left.
Lufthansa for Echo left 090, cleared ILS 08 left. Cat 1, glide slope localizer blue.
415 ready for request pushing.
Ground 415, push start approved, facing west.
Pushing start approved, facing west, German cargo 415.
Lufthansa 5 Echo descend altitude 6000.
Okay, I'll roll out on 110 here in order to do proper intercept.
6000, Kinetic 1040, 5 Echo.
And flaps 1. Speed check. Flaps 1. .090 might have been a little bit too tight there.
E361 descend to flight level 90.
Descent flight level 90 is 261.
Lockstar.
EC6 to Bravo Zulu, continue descent to
So 15 knots headwind, I like that.
With a 1614 monitor Unicom, bye bye.
With a 1614.
Alt, long.
Bye bye, thank you.
So for Echo free speed, wind 070 degrees, 7 out, 08 left, clear line.
Free speed 08 left, clear land, Lufthansa for Echo.
Track 01 hello identified via SRE, continue climb flight level 19.
Turkish 01.
Glass loop star, go around altitude 5000 set.
From the 1248, reduce speed 220 knots.
Reduce speed 220 knots, Lufthansa 1248.
Okay, let's see what happens. Glide slope, and thrust idle. And it's maintaining the speed perfectly, nice. Well, losing a little bit. We might need a little bit of thrust here. Just keep that aircraft a tad faster.
Lima Vector identified, continue climb to flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100,
We'll try to follow Airbus SOP. That means down at 2000 above the ground, which is 3,500 on the altimeter. Check. We are going to deploy flaps 2 and then the landing gear. Let's see how that's going to work. By the way, just a small comment here on the seasons in Flight Simulator 2024. Because the terrain does look rather nice here, doesn't it?
Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1040,
Lufthansa 900, Papa 10 right, heading 050, cleared LF 083.
Alright, flaps 2. Speed checked. Flaps 2. Gear down.
Lufthansa 1248, continue descent altitude 4000.
Continue descent altitude 4000 feet, 1248.
Checker 01, proceed direct to...
Flap 3. Speed checked.
Give me.
Flaps 3.
Direct to give me.
And flaps full. Speed checked.
Vector 10 left direct to Upala.
Flaps full.
direct to Upala, Lima Victor.
Lufthansa 5 Echo 10 left, heading 050, cleared LF 08 left.
Heading 050, cleared LF 08 left.
Landing checklist. Ecam memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete.
Turn right heading 350, Lufthansa 1248.
EC361, reduce speed 250 knots or left.
Speed 250 or less is 261.
EC6 to Bravo Zulu, monitor Unicom, bye bye.
Checked. So, stable at the gate. Wonderful.
Echo Lima Victor, continue climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Lima Victor.
Turkish 01, climb to flight level 300.
Turkish 01, climbing to flight level 300.
Lufthansa 5 Echo descent 5000 feet.
So, nice and stable.
08 left.
Checked.
So the 1248 right, heading 050, clear direct 08 right.
Right heading 050 for ILS approach 05 right.
08 right.
08 right, correction, 1248.
Alright, our target is to get the first rapid exit taxiway. That's 1,800 meters down the runway. We should need 1,600 with this auto brake setting. Land. So let's see what's going to happen. Checked. Continue. Look at how lovely the glide slope brings us right onto where we want to be on the runway. Love it.
Center, user 321, 34,
With a 321, pushback start up approved, facing north.
Nope, overflared a tad.
push and start, then inform rest.
Spoiler, reverse green, decel.
Echo free speed. Free speed, Echo
70 knots.
Is that 261, ready to speed 220.
Manual brakes. Perfect. That's our exit, just like we wanted it. Lufthansa for Echo vacating.
Lufthansa for Echo, danke, taxi non-standard entry November 3, stand 220 Bravo via Whiskey 2.
Stand 220 Bravo via Whiskey 2 via November... Well, the entry in front of us, Lufthansa for Echo.
Non-standard Alpha 9 November 3.
Alpha 9 on November 3, Lufthansa for Echo. Okay, Alpha 9 is the first to the right.
0737 out, runway 08 left, clear to land. Hey, land, clear land, 9 Echo.
So, Alpha 9 is over here.
261, turn right, heading 050, clear.
And then Whiskey 3.
Right, then heading 050.
Well, November 3 is the entry over here. And then 220 Bravo is somewhere over there in the back. Let's quickly have a look at that chart. And while that's loading...
Come cargo 415, taxi entry Sierra 3 via Romeo.
Taxi entry Sierra 3 via Romeo, German cargo 415.
Also 953, direct Delta Mike 421.
Unreadable.
Also 953, direct Delta Mike 421.
Delta Mike 421, direct also 953.
Lufthansa 1248, reduce speed 180 knots to left, departing 7319 ahead.
Hi, what would this be? The
And start a view, please.
Northwest 1248.
After landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. So stand 220 Bravo is all the way down here.
2 stations at 1.
Probably next to the company over there. Let's see if GSX has the stand available.
Lufthansa 2 Echo Mike.
Bravo 220, yeah, that's
2
it.
Echo Mike,
Because GSX to this date, over 10 years of its existence, can't tell a stand like 220 Bravo, it has to call it Bravo 220. Because why not, huh?
Turkish 01, can I leave the cockpit for 5 minutes? Turkish 01 approved.
Okay, 220 is over here, and then we'll go on to 220 Bravo, which is most likely the right one.
We're ready for the copy.
Lufthansa 3 Victor, Alpha, hello, call you back.
Okay, that's Alpha, and that's Bravo. So the left of the two.
Lufthansa 9 Hotel, Papa vacate, Bravo 10,
Lights off.
to the left.
You don't need that table, my friend.
Echo Lima Victor, monitor Unicom, bye bye.
Unicom, bye bye, thank you, Echo Lima Victor.
After 953, descend to flight level 7.
Okay, 220 Bravo.
Descent level
A321 is on the guidance.
Which runway can we expect?
To right left.
To the left, okay.
What do you mean too far? We are standing literally 20 meters to the back. That's about guidance systems there. Alright, anyway.
Papa taxi right, Tango, Bravo 12.
So, APU is there. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, let's leave that frequency. And then, engines are running down. And here we go. Beacon is coming off. They're disarming the slides right now. Here we go. Parking checklist. All flight ground. Go. Chocks are in position, power is connected. Thank you, and the parking brake is released. So let's do that once again, and you can deboard. Parking checklist. Parking brake or chocks. Chocks in position. Engines off. Wing light off. Fuel pumps off. Parking checklist complete. So then, transponder, standby and 2000. Fuel usage is good and even, and the IRS performance is satisfactory. Well, my friends, and that's it. Welcome to Munich. I do hope you all enjoyed the flight as much as I did. Leave your feedback in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to do more flights like this. Like a lot of you have recently brought in that you'd like me to do some more VATSIM flights, so this was one more. Thank you so much for your attention. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.